The delicate Edelweiss blossom covers the mountainside of the Alps, and now you can duplicate that delicate floral texture with the Edelweiss stitch. It is wonderful and breathable, actually stretchy and doesn't curl, which is great. You can make it in a flat panel and you can also make it in the round, and I'm going to show you both today. You can see it has this nice little lean to it, has a great little texture, and it's also, it's great, it's universal because you can use it for both masculine and feminine. I'm going to show it to you in the round on DPNs as well as in a flat panel today on Good Knit Kisses. Welcome to Good Knit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. For the Edelweiss stitch, we have the written directions and supplies down at the link below. So look in the description for that, for the written instructions for the flat panel as well as in the round. I'm going to show you how to work the flat panel, and I'm using circulars, but you can use straights to work back and forth. And then I'm going to show you in the round on DPNs, but you can also use circulars as well. I am working with a US 8 or 5 millimeter needle and a number 4 medium weight yarn. You could also use a US 7 or 4.5 millimeter for that, but you can use any weight of yarn you like, an appropriate gauge needle. And we are going to have two different multiples on these, so I'll just get that out of the way in the beginning, and then we'll go over it individually for flat and the round. The flat works with a 2+1 multiple, and in the round it works with a multiple of 4. If you'd also like to get the hat pattern, you can also click and get that down at the link below, and we'll have a video on how to make that in 5 sizes. All right, grab your supplies and we'll begin. The Edelweiss stitch in a flat panel. You're going to begin by casting on a multiple of 2 plus 1. I've casted on 20 stitches plus 1, so 21 stitches. And I just did a long tail cast on, and then you're going to begin with the first row. This is a 4-row repeat, and the first and third rows are just knit only. So we're going to begin by knitting the first row. So go ahead and cast on your 21 stitches and knit a first row. Pause your video and meet me back when you've finished casting on in the first row. We'll see you in a moment. And if you need help with basic stitches and casting on, be sure and click down in the description below and get a slower tutorial if you need that. We'll see you soon. All right, for row 2, we're going to knit the first stitch, and then we're going to work in pairs, and you're going to be purling 2 stitches together and then knitting those same 2 stitches together at the same time. So we're going to do one, leave the stitches on, and then do the next stitch. Okay, so how you do that is you put your yarn to the front in between the 2 needles, and you can move your knitting all the way to the end and get into the first 2 stitches just as if you were to purl, and we're just going to yarn over and push that new stitch there to the back. You can swing it out and give yourself some space, or you can keep it closed, whichever you're more comfortable with. And then we want to take our working yarn before we drop off any of these old stitches, put our working yarn to the back, so between these 2, swing our needle around to the front, and we're going to knit these 2 stitches together. So now we're going to yarn over and then pull through that new stitch. So you should have 2 new stitches made, plus you have your beginning ones. You have 3 on your needle. And now we're just going to work in pairs, continuing that on. So let's do that again. Yarn to the front. I'm going to purl these 2 stitches together. Yarn over. Push that new stitch to the back. Put your yarn between the needles. And then knit the 2 stitches together. So you're just swinging that around to the front. And that's how you do it. So you just keep on repeating. Now I want to show you how to go backwards if you get messed up. It's actually pretty easy. So I'm just going to take my other needle and we're going to put it right back in to these 2 stitches back here. You just pull back and you can see the stitches very clearly. And then you can actually just slide off those 2 stitches there. Okay. So if you accidentally knit 2 first and purled, or knit 2 together first and purled 2 together, and so you did it backwards, then you could just do that, or however you messed up, that's how you would do that. So let's do that one more time. Yarn forward, purl these 2 stitches together, put our yarn to the back, you can just Pop them right through between those needles and go into the front of that stitch and knit the 2 stitches together. And just continue on until you get to the end of your row, and you should have an even number of stitches at the end, so your last 2 will be worked together. All right, so continue working on that, pause your video, and I'll meet you back for row 3. See you in a moment. For row 3, you are simply just going to knit across. So go ahead and do that, pause your video, and I will see you for row 4. See you in a moment. Row 4, we are going to shift our stitch pattern over by 1. That way we get this very pretty alternating design here. So you're just going to begin by knitting the 2 stitches, working them in pairs starting at the beginning of this row, and then you end with 1 knit stitch. So you're just going to begin by purling these 2 stitches together as you did before, and then put your yarn to the back and knit them together. And then repeat along this row until you have 1 stitch left and knit that one. So just the same as the second row, it's just that you're knitting 1 in the end instead of the beginning. And that's it. So continue doing that. I'll meet you back at the end. See you soon. And our last knit stitch, and turn that over, and you're ready to repeat your 4-row repeat again. So you'll just continue until you get to your desired length and bind off after a row 4 or move on with your next stitch pattern. So as you can see, it's got a really pretty right side, but also equally pretty is the reverse. It makes a great stitch. Let's move on to the round version, knitting in the round, the Edelweiss stitch. Knitting the Edelweiss stitch in the round. Now I'm working with DPNs, or double pointed needles, on this hat here, but you can of course use circular needles and use the magic loop technique, whatever you'd like. For Edelweiss in the round, it's similar to the 4-row repeat. You will be having a round of knit stitches for the first round and the third round, and every other row for the second and fourth round it's going to shift. We are going to play a little bit with this first stitch marker, moving it back and forth, so I recommend having a few stitches on the beginning of your DPN with a stitch marker there if you're going to work with DPNs. On a circular, it won't matter so much, but you will want to put it here instead of just pinning it to your knitting. So go ahead and cast on and do whatever edge you want, or you can just cast on and connect in the round and get ready, and we'll do our first round of knitting. So go ahead and knit 1 round, pause your video, and I will see you for the second round. See you then. Okay, so let me finish out these last 2 stitches and we'll begin the second round actually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slip my stitch marker, and we're going to knit 1. Just like in the flat panel, we're knitting 1. And if you did that one before, we're going to do the same as we did before, where we are working these 2 stitches together as a purl 2 together and then a knit 2 together. So go ahead and put your yarn forward, and we're going to go into both of these stitches just like to purl. Yarn over, push that new stitch through, making that new stitch there. Put our yarn to the back, so you're going in between these 2 needles, and move our needle in the front of that to knit them together. So knit these 2 stitches together and then drop off the 2 old stitches. Okay, so we just made 2 new stitches here and dropped out the old, and it makes this little stitch down here. Okay, it starts making that little flower. All right, so we're going to yarn forward and we're going to work these next 2 stitches again. So we are purling 2 together, and then in the same stitch knitting 2 together. So there's purl 2 together, yarn to the back, and then knit the same 2 stitches together without dropping them off that needle, and then we drop them off. So you're going to continue working around in pairs. Go all the way around, and then when you have 1 stitch remaining, you're going to pause your video. So you'll be down at this end. I'll just wait until we have 1 stitch remaining on our DPNs, which means we have actually 3 left, and you'll see what we do there. All right, pause your video, and I'll meet you at the end of this needle. See you soon. I do want to show you something before we get to the end of this round. You can see how I have one stitch left on my first DPN, and I'm just going to slip it over and then go ahead and move my new needle into place and slip that stitch back over to the next needle, and then I can work these two stitches together. So you will have a bit of moving some of these stitches back and forth over on your DPNs just so that you can work them more easily in pairs. So I just wanted you to see how to do that. So moving on to the next DPN, we're just going to make sure our yarn is forward, go into those two stitches, purl them together, swing our yarn in between the two needles, and then knit them together and continue. All right, we'll see you when you have 4 stitches left on your needles for the end of round 2. Pause your video and I'll see you there. Okay, so I have my last DPN. The next one has the 2 stitches left and then my stitch marker, but the technically the last DPN is this one. It has 3 stitches here. So we actually have 5 stitches left in the row. Let's go ahead and still work these in pairs. And if you're not used to working with DPNs, you just ignore these other ones here and just keep working with the new one as it unloads here. So we're just working these 2 stitches together again. Here we go. Okay, and now I have 1 stitch left on this needle. Let's go ahead and transfer it over as we've done before. We're going to put it over here on this one, which is our beginning one again. And now I've got my empty DPN. And we can work, there's 3 stitches left. We can work these first 2 stitches like we've been doing. Okay, so now when we have 1 stitch left, we're going to work this last pair together. Well, what it is it's the last stitch and then the first stitch as another pair. So we're going to put our yarn forward. We're going to slip this stitch, next stitch purlwise, and take off the marker, and then we can place this back on here. And now we're going to work these 2 stitches and purl the 2 together. And after we create our new stitch, you can go ahead and put on your stitch marker again. And then now put your yarn to the back and knit those 2 stitches together. And then you have completed round 2. Okay, so then now for round 3, all you're going to be doing is knitting all the way around the remaining stitches. So the first one is actually already knit because you just worked it. So you're just going to continue working all the way around all stitches. Pause your video. When we meet back up, we'll work round 4, which is actually much easier. All right, pause your video. I will see you there. Coming to the end of round 3, and I'm going to go ahead and knit this very first stitch on our last needle. Okay, so I had 3 stitches at the end. I just wanted to move this other one over because what we're going to do in this next round is work in pairs beginning after the placed marker. So go ahead and knit these first 2 stitches. They're technically the last 2 stitches before the end of the round. Work them on this first needle. Okay, slip the marker. And now we can begin round 4, which is working in pairs throughout. So you're going to be purling 2 and knitting 2 stitches together in the same stitch all the way around, and it will work out evenly to where these last 2 stitches here are worked in a pair as well. So there's no moving around of those stitches. So go ahead and work that pattern. Yarn forward and purl 2 stitches together and knitting 2 stitches together in the same stitch. Pause your video and I'll see you after this round. See you soon. One last quick tip: when you're coming to the end of a DPN and you have 1 stitch left, I just want to suggest you go ahead and switch that over and work it without the fresh empty needle just yet. Go ahead and get these 2 stitches over So go ahead and work those two, purling two together, knitting two together. Oops. There we go. Oops. I have got a yarn over. Haha. Did you see that? Okay, so purling two together and then knitting two together. And then that way your stitch count is divisible by 8, or at least for mine it's divisible by 8. So I have all these pairs over here. Otherwise you're just going to keep moving stitches over and over and then get it all unevenly loaded if you're working with DPNs. Okay, continue working and I will see you at the end of that round. See you soon. So I'm at the end of my round. I have 2 more stitches left, and I'm going to work that in a pair as well. But before I do, I just want to point out that you are going to be repeating rounds 1 through 4 to work the Edelweiss stitch. And if you do have to put your work down, I recommend actually just ending right here, and you can even leave these 2 stitches on. And when you examine your work and pick it back up, you can see that you just in fact worked around 4, because you can see these pairs sticking out really well, and know that then you'll go right into a round 1 after that. So this is just a really great place to stop, because you've got your stitch marker right on there, and you're ready to just put that away if you have to. So I'm going to continue on finishing making my hat. If you'd like to join me for that, please click down in the links below to see the video on making the Edelweiss hat and also get your pattern. Thanks for joining me today at Good Knit Kisses and learning how to make the Edelweiss in the round and in a flat panel. And I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.
Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.